This week, we refined the rear spoiler on the Porsche 928 Widebody commission. And also, we've been working hard on the hunting cart because we have less than 1 week now until Grindhard Plumbing Co. is at our front door and ready to build the body for it. And lastly, we go from 3D scan to wooden buck with a fender on the 928. So stay tuned, there's a lot in this one. Gonna extend the lip of the spoiler. Decided it's not long enough. A lot to get done this week. This is just one of the many things. Yeah.
Because it goes, wide, gets narrow, gets much wider.
Yeah.
But I kind of think that's where it needs to be.
Yeah. Oh, I think where it lays now is, given a 1/8 inch tolerance is about where it needs to be.
Don't we speak in millimeters? I thought you
Yeah,
spoke
we
in
do.
millimeters.
We do.
Okay.
I prefer not speaking freedom units.
Right.
Yeah, it's all soft, so we can
Yeah.
shmoo, get it more straight or whatever. But
Right.
like I said, I wanted to make sure that this is what you were thinking.
Yeah, I think dimensionally, that's definitely what I was thinking. These are soaking. We may be taking these apart, or some of those apart, or some more of there apart. Whatever comes apart first wins and gets to live on the hunting cart for the rest of his life. So
I don't know if that's I think it's a win to live on the hunting cart for the rest of his
I mean,
life.
honestly, among 914 brake calipers, that is close to the pinnacle of what they can hope to.
While Tony's working on the calipers, I'm going to work on making the seat less janky and maybe not snap off while we're driving it. I think that'd be a good idea. There it is. That's pretty quick.
Yeah, that went well.
Guess I should have done the slow-mo.
Yeah, so we got this piston out. It's on the opposite side from where the air is going in. So I always like to do that one first. And then if they're being stubborn, I'll clean this up a little bit once I have it apart, so I know it'll come apart easier. And then I'll put this back in and hold it. So hopefully that one will pop out.
So yeah, we have a fitting here. It's a bleeder that has a male air adapter, I guess. So you use shop air to force the piston out.
Yep, it works pretty well. It really only had to heat that for maybe 30 seconds to get it to pop.
Okay, this time I'm getting a slow-mo. profile. Alright, so I did a 3D scan this morning, a fresh one to make sure it was updated to any kind of changes I made, and then I threw it into Fusion 360, and as you saw in the time lapse, I got that all turned into a buck here. As you can see, when I drop out the scan, there it is. Now I couldn't figure out how to make them slot to each other. This is my first time doing it this way, so I figured to save some time, because I spent already an hour trying to figure it out, I'm going to go ahead and just you know, cut them by hand afterwards, because why not? So I'm going to go ahead and upload all the SVGs to the Goliath and see how it goes. Our first test panel went well, so I imagine this will go well as well. So let's see what happens. Plunge depth just a little bit deeper. I cut this one to the board width, which I should have gone further. That one I added 0.1 millimeters, which I should have gone further apparently. Just ever so slightly, probably another like 0.1 or 2. That's okay. Literally my first time using the thing for anything important, so can't get mad, right? I'm pretty happy with how the Goliath did. There were a couple little hiccups here and there where it got a little wavy, where it had like tension and whatnot. Like there's one spot like it notched really weird. Like I don't know if it, like, I think the wheels like ran over like a squirrel or whatever you call it, like a curlicue. Yeah, a squirrel. A curlicue of wood, and it like got caught for a second. So it got like a little notch that sticks out at the sand back. Here. See where it notches out and notches back in. That needs sanded down. But honestly, for what we're doing, it is plenty accurate. What I'm thinking here is I'll, get things squared out true to 100%, and then either I'll tape it or something like that to kind of hold it together, and then sand the outside to get a smooth profile, and then I'll probably just take thin tape and just tape the ribs. Then so they're A, they retain, and B, you can see them. Is the back panels, I notched them from the back forward, and the front panels I notched from the front back. I think I should have done the opposite. Because these are sticking out now they have the most flex on the surface that we're working on. So gotcha. I had already cut them, and like halfway through it, and I was like, I should have done the other way. But you know what? This is my first time going through this process and doing a wooden buck for a 3D scan, and I'm pretty happy with how it went. And it took 2 days to go from yesterday morning. I was 3D scanning the fender because I did a fresh scan to make sure it was up to date, and then it's the end of the day after, and we have a buck in front of us.
There we go.
That is a good turnaround for. Yeah, I did it all myself, except for some input from friends that knew more CAD stuff than I did, and a lot of YouTube searching. And Tony, you're going to get a router last minute from Lowe's.
Yeah, to make our slots.
That's the other thing. I would have sorry, I didn't cut you off, but I wish we had the right size bit for the Goliath, so I could have easily cut slots. But their problem is too, I wasn't sure how to quickly do it in Fusion and have them all slot easily. So we just figured we'll just get a router and zip it ourselves, which is what I was doing at the end here. And
part of the learning curve.
It is part of the learning curve. Part of the learning curve.
Once we get the learning curve figured out, can we make a buck for that too?
I don't know that the learning curve is quite that precise. There we have it. We have our clay, and now it's mirrored into wood, as you can see there.
When do we do metal?
Next video? Maybe next video we'll start shaping some aluminum. The front fenders are aluminum. We have our design for sure with that. Maybe we'll move forward in that next video. Or maybe more clay work in the back, or maybe both. Either way, we have exactly 1 week until Ethan and Will from Grindhard are landing at the airport. So, what was that?
Jumping for joy.
Was that like you were like Mario, and it's like bloop, bloop, bloop. Like, so that's that for the 928, and then with the hunting cart, which is Marvin the Martian is gonna tell us all about that, I guess.
Well, we gotta get brakes on it. Big thing, brakes.
Halfway there.
Yeah. We'll try and get a little rollover protection, maybe eventually for sure. Maybe before they get here.
I would prefer before they get here because I'm definitely gonna do some donuts on it before they get here.
All right, then we got to get that done. Exhaust.
That's showing up early next week, so we'll be chopping up an eBay Type 4 engine exhaust we found to save some time.
Yeah, so it's showing up, but we're not just gonna bolt it on because we won't be able to.
Correct. Anyway, make sure you guys are liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing this with your friends so we can keep growing. You guys have been so supportive, and yeah, we'll keep giving back with some great content as we keep growing. So see you guys next Saturday.